Hi everybody, I'm Kyle Beery.
And I'm John Vertico.
And we are your resident hockey analysts here at BU30. We're going to be bringing you all kinds of coverage from the NHL to the ECHL with the Indy Fuel here in town. Maybe even a little bit of college hockey down the road.
It's going to be a great semester. We're going to be covering all the nationally televised games from NBC and NBC CSN for the NHL. Every week we'll bring you one of these videos. This is our first one. I'm excited to get rolling.
Let's do it.
First game of the week, Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Carolina Hurricanes. It's going to be a good game, but the storyline here is going to be scoring. Tampa Bay is that best scoring team in the league. Carolina can't seem to find the back of the net, even with some of the great players they've got on their team. It's a home ice game for them, so they're going to scrap for a couple goals, but I think you're going to see Tampa Bay take this one 5-2.
Biggest thing for me here is the fact that Tampa Bay is leading the Eastern Conference in points and Carolina is second to last place. And Tampa Bay's got Steven Stamkos. Even with the home ice, I like the Tampa Bay Lightning to win 3-0.
Next game of the week, first of a doubleheader on the Wednesday night rivalry on NBC Sportsnet. We've got Pittsburgh versus Washington. It's probably the best rivalry matchup of the entire week of games. And it's going to be a tough one because Pittsburgh hasn't been playing well. They'll be looking to come out of their funk, which means they're going to really scrap hard. And they're the highest penalty-taking team in the league. So I think it's going to be a rough one. Washington's going to play well, but it's going to go to a shootout with Pittsburgh gaining the edge.
All right. Like you said, great rivalry. Maybe not so much in this one because the thing about Pittsburgh and Washington is Crosby versus Ovechkin, and it looks like Crosby won't be playing. He's sitting out the All-Star game this weekend. So for that reason, I'm going to have to give the advantage to Washington. I'm going to say this one 3-4 on their home ice.
It's going to be a great game either way. In the second of those doubleheaders, we've got the Chicago Blackhawks versus the Los Angeles Kings, the defending Stanley Cup champions, who aren't playing like that this season. Jonathan Quick is really struggling to find any kind of form, and they're fighting for a wild card spot to get into the playoffs. The Hawks, on the other hand, had a bit of a downturn there in early January and have been since playing pretty well. They've won their last couple games before the All-Star break, and looked pretty convincing in doing so. I'm thinking you're going to see a Chicago Blackhawks 4-2 victory.
All right. I had to change my mind on this one. I originally had the Kings beating the Hawks just because of the time difference and the fact that the Hawks are 5-5 in their last 10. But you know they're so high powered. They're starting to hit their midseason form. Can't really pick against Patrick Kane too often, especially when he's playing a slumping Jonathan Quick. I'm going to go ahead and say Chicago 3, Los Angeles 1.
Might be a good game for Kane to get some bragging rights in Team USA there, too. Next game of the week, we've got an Original Six matchup, Montreal at New York. It's going to be a great game. Both teams are playing pretty well this season, with Rick Nash having probably one of his best statistical seasons in recent memory. And PK Subban looks good. It's going to be a tough game, but I think in the end, Montreal, they're going to take it, but it's going to take overtime. It's going to be a long, tough game.
This game competes with this game as far as the top rivalry goes. You can't beat an Original Six matchup. I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm going to throw you for a loop here. I'm going to say, because of the home ice, New York takes it 2-1.
All right. It'll be a good game either way. Last game of the week, Western Conference matchup, Anaheim versus San Jose. Another solid rivalry, a little fresher perhaps than any of the others, but and Anaheim's probably the best team in the league right now. It'd be hard to bet against them. They're scoring at an outstanding rate, and they're doing okay keeping the puck out of the net. Corey Perry and Ryan Getzlaf, it's just too hard to bet against them, especially with San Jose's youth and the fact that Joe Thornton and Patrick Marleau are really struggling and starting to show their age a bit. I think Anaheim, they're going to take it 5-3.
Yeah, like you said, Anaheim's top team in the league. We've got 68 points, I believe. But this is the top 2 teams in the Pacific Division, so it should be quite the showdown.
Absolutely.
California is actually producing some pretty good hockey these days. I'm excited for this one. But like you said, Corey Perry, Ryan Getzlaff,
Too good.
Frederick Anderson, even upstart goalie, having a great year. I'm going to say 4-2 in favor of the Ducks. So that's all we got for our predictions this week. But something I do want to talk about is the All-Star Weekend.
Absolutely.
That is upon us. I'm excited for that. We got, skills competition tonight, Saturday night. Sunday is the game. What are you looking forward to Saturday?
I think the hardest shot contest is really going to be something to watch because for the last few years, Zdeno Chara has set a new record every season, and he's not an All-Star this season. Didn't get voted in and wasn't selected either. So, it's going to be an interesting competition to see him not in there for the first time in a while. And I think Shea Weber, Dustin Byfuglien, Brent Seabrook, Steven Stamkos might be one of the forwards in the competition. It's going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah. Who you got in that?
Shea Weber looks good, but I got to go with big buff Dustin Byfuglien from the Winnipeg Jets. It's hard to bet against a guy that's 6'5" and is probably listed at 260, but weighs probably closer to 290.
I'm gonna pick Shea Weber just because he's been gunning for Chara each year. He's been the closest to him, so that should be fun. But Sunday will be fun with the. It's not East-West anymore. It's the fantasy draft. We got Team Foligno and Team Taves.
Yeah,
correct?
absolutely.
Should be a fun night. But I'm looking forward to just having an All-Star game this year. They finally have it after canceled because of the lockout, and then last year was an Olympic season,
break,
so it should be a fun weekend. But like I said, I'm Kyle Beery.
I'm John Vertico.
And you've been watching some hockey analysis on BU30. We're really looking forward to continuing this. We're going to keep track of our records. I think we've only got 2 discrepancies in this one this week, so it should be fun. But thanks for watching, and make sure you tune in next week.